So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Klee, and I'm joining you from Austria. So I'm pleased to be able to attend and contribute to the conference. As a PhD student, my topic is the digitalization of developers in Germany. The presented topic, the influence of COVID on the digitalization of property developer, is the current status of my work and the title of my full paper which I have submitted for this conference. So I'm currently researching the literature on my topic. So I live in Austria, near Munich. I work in a German bank and I'm responsible for financing developers and investors. In Kufstein in Austria, I teach the subject real estate finance in the bachelor degree, and I was a guest lecturer this year in Koblenz, Germany, and Coastal Carolina University in South Carolina. After my MBA studies, I have been working on my doctoral thesis in Salzburg since last year. So I'm in an early stage. I'm just still searching the literature. And as you can see, the property development business is my passion, and I would like to close some research gaps in this area. So what does the digital transformation mean? So Professor Nelson Phillips explained it that way. If you first look at the word digital, it has something to do like with ones and zeros. And for example, the transformation of analog things into digital world. That means the process of virtualization, like changing written sheets in files. But what does transformation mean? It was first used in the Industrial Revolution. So people's lives were characterized by only few changes for many years until fundamental changes started in every aspect of their society. So people's behavior has fundamentally changed from one generation to the next. And that is exactly what is happening again. So people create a new world. The topic is absolutely relevant because the digital transformation of the value chain is a challenge, and not all market participants have recognized the relevance. So the real estate sector is considerably important in Germany. There are barriers that are hindering digitalization. One of the barriers is the excellent economic situation of the real estate market, which currently only knows one direction, and that is upwards. So property developers are also benefiting from this. In practice, I recognize many analog market participants. Many developers come from the more traditional construction industry, and I'm very interested in why this branch is lagging behind on digital issues, especially where COVID has actually accelerated this. If the economic situation in the real estate market changes, I believe that companies with digital and lean process have the best chances to survive. So how can we define digital transformation? There are various definitions in the literature, but I think Sarikos is the most illustrative. So digitization is the conversion of analog data to digital. This happens, for example, when you convert music from records to digital data sets. Digitalization is the use of the data platforms. In our example, for example, Apple Music. And digital transformation is the conversion of the entire business model. In the follow-up to my doctoral thesis, I will focus on digital transformation for builders and different stages of digitalization. For my PhD thesis, I would like to look at current research in the following areas on focus. How have companies mastered their digital transformation? What influence does the COVID pandemic have on digitalization, especially among property developers? What measurement tools for digital maturity already? Do you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, okay, perfect. I just continue. So Who has an interest in this and which stakeholders are the drivers? Which areas of the supply chain are affected? Finally, does digitalization influence the success of a company? And out of this, my hypothesis and research questions are: digital transformation creates profitability. The process of digital business models are more effective, and digitalization creates growth. And this all, of course, in the area of property developers. Finally, I would like to explore the impact of digitalization on property developer business. For this purpose, I define different maturity levels and explore the effect on business success. This is still to be defined. Outstanding. I've chosen to define business performance. I've chosen profitability, effective processes, and growth. So my next step in the PhD thesis is to explore the specifications of developers using a mixed methods design with quantitative and qualitative methods, as described in my SEM with a survey and expert interview. So in my current full paper, which I submitted, I first looked at the topic of digital transformation and searched for research gaps here. Then I selected the topic COVID and pandemic and limited it to the areas digitalization, digital transformation, and only English paper. The third step, I limited to conference papers, conference reviews, and articles from the year 2020 to 2021 to get only high quality and actual paper. And then I limited 59 records to full text and screened abstract and conclusion. From the literature review, I learned that digital maturity has changed customer demand patterns due to the shutdown, closed borders, and physical distancing. So furthermore, financial challenges have increased. As a result, digital transformation has become more relevant. As a conclusion from the literature review, it can be assumed that the corona pandemic has accelerated the already necessary transformation of business models. The research is not specific to developers, as that particular area is still rather unexplored. However, it can be assumed from interviews with property developers that the acceleration of digitalization driven by COVID can also be projected on the industry. However, it cannot be adopted that maximum digitalization also promises maximum success. The degree of maturity of digital transformation is individual. So I have identified the following research gaps, which I will explore. What level of digitalization is desirable for developers, and what are the specific impacts of digitalization on developers? So these are my further, when I finish the literature review, I will focus on this. So